Want to continue our series, What Your Kids Don't Want You to Know. TJ Holmes is back with us, this time with some apps parents may not know about that could present such real danger to our kids. TJ, eye-opening.
Yeah, the past couple of days we show what could happen when families don't talk, parents and kids. Today, we're going to kind of take a transition here to some stuff that's downright scary. Some of these apps you're not aware of that can put your child in physical danger. And would you believe there's even an app out there that on its own front page, it tells you, be careful. Predators have been known to use it.
Apps, the staple of teenage years. They keep your kids engaged and social, but parents beware. Some apps have features that authorities say could put your teens at risk. The lives of 3 young women in Philadelphia cut short in December. Their car slammed into a tractor trailer and burst into flames. Surveillance video shows the girls speeding by moments before the crash. The family of Giascavo Abgarian, a passenger killed in the crash, believes the filter that allows you to clock your speed on Snapchat played a role in her death.
One of her friends had told me that she was Snapchatting throughout the night, and in the car they were showing that their speed, how fast they were driving.
Snapchat tells ABC News it takes distracted driving seriously, including a do not snap and drive warning message when the geo filter is first accessed.
There's a lot of good that can come with social media, but there's a lot of bad.
District Attorney Pamela Casey has been outspoken about the dangers of social media and in particular the app Kik.
Kik really is the devil.
Kik is a messenger app that allows users to be anonymous. It made headlines in February when 13-year-old Nicole Lovell was murdered after police say she met one of the suspects involved in her murder on the Kik app. Kik tells ABC News, we have zero tolerance for any behavior that potentially affects the safety of our users. As well as our 24/7 support team, we offer blocking and reporting tools to allow users to flag unwanted content or contact.
We have children being killed across the country by people who are luring them through social media.
Omegle, another app gaining attention from law enforcement, puts 2 users in an anonymous chat room, and on the app's own front page, a frightening warning. Predators have been known to use Omegle, so be careful. New Mexico police now investigating a case of a stranger who allegedly targeted a 13-year-old girl on the app. The mother says within minutes of her daughter using the app, she received inappropriate messages and threats.
First, it was very innocent. Then all of a sudden, the person on the other end started becoming vulgar.
Omegle's homepage says the people you encounter on Omegle may not behave appropriately, and they are solely responsible for their own behavior.
Essentially, by giving your child a phone, you're opening the door to the world and inviting them into your home.
And parents, we're not trying to scare you. We're trying to inform you. But still here, guys, at the same time, parents, what are they supposed to do? It's impossible. Don't even try, parents, to keep up with your kids. They're going to be ahead of the game, but it's still so important to just have that open line of communication. That's the best you can hope for.
Well, you've really started that this week here.
Yeah, you have.
In this conversation.
We want to give you more information now. We're going to talk about this with Callahan Walsh. She's a child advocate with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Cal, we welcome you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so what do you do if your kid wants to go on one of these apps or download one of them? Yay, nay? How do you stay on top of it?
Well, I think the parents really need to be on top of the technology. They need to know how these apps work, and the best way to do that is to download them themselves. Get on there, see how the features work. You know, check out if there's security settings, privacy settings, and determine whether that app is right for your child or not.
So how dangerous are you? We heard about Kik, we heard about
Omegle.
How dangerous is this?
Well, they can be very dangerous. I mean, the child has no idea who they're chatting with, and neither does the parent. And the fact that a lot of these apps have features where you can search for certain age and gender, these predators are using it as a private hunting preserve for kids. They can target the exact age and gender that they're looking for.
So there's security measures, but is there something else that parents can do?
Definitely. Knowing the technology is great. Setting ground rules so your children has expectations and making sure there's consequences if they break those rules. And ongoing conversations. There is no substitute for conversations with your kid about safety measures.
I do like the idea of downloading it and learning how to use it, because I will say it's very daunting as a parent. There is like a generational gap in our knowledge.
Oh, definitely. And that gap may never be narrowed. And the best way, again, is we say have ongoing conversations with your kids, especially the conversations you're going to have with your youngest child isn't exactly the same conversation you're going to have with your oldest child.
True.
And when you see a warning that says predators have been known to be on this app, it puzzles me why children are on these apps at all. I know they're ahead of us, but when you have a warning like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of times parents just have no idea that they're on them themselves.
Yeah.
And I brought it up yesterday because we have been talking about it all week, and I brought it up with my younger child. And, you know, a typical response is, yeah, I know, but they don't know.
Yeah, and even some parents, they think, well, the device my child uses doesn't have a data plan. It can't make phone calls or texts. But as long as it can receive Wi-Fi, they can still get on these social media apps. So the coffee shop, the friend's house, the library, they can still get on them.
I know, but I think the bottom line here is like the parents need to educate themselves.
Exactly.
They need to know.
They do.
And it's like Lara was saying, I know my parents, they used to say how much older they were, that they didn't know how to do some things. That's no excuse. You've got to know how to do this.
And the platforms themselves are trying to take steps in the right direction. They're creating trust and safety centers where they bring in child safety experts like the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and we help them create policy and safety tips and things like that, where they then put that on a website. It's oftentimes their safety center where parents can go and look for resources to help them keep their kids safe.
Yeah. And Lara, didn't you say yesterday the rule, hand in your phones when you go to bed?
Yep, I did it again last night. They don't like it, but I do think it's a great rule. You've been on it all day. It's time for sleep.
Yeah, well,
and we bought old school alarm clocks because they were like, oh, we need our phone for the alarm. No, you really don't.
It was some kids I'm going to introduce you to next week, actually. They're up till midnight. They're on their phones constantly.
No.
They're older high school kids, but everybody has their different rules.
And it was a lot easier when the computer was in the living room, right? It was easier for parents to monitor that sort of stuff. But now it's in their pocket, it's in their bedroom, and it's in their bathroom.
Cal, we want to say thank you. Great information. And TJ,
for the work that you do.
Thank you very much.
TJ, keep it up. Keep bringing it.
This has been my guy. He's been step by step.